My Nana was born in Veracruz, Mexico in 1948. She lost her mother at the age of 2 and started working in the fields and in the kitchen at the age of 7 in order to help her family. She grew up in a very violent household where she was frequently beaten by her father. When she was about 17 years old, she left her home and soon married. My Nana has always worked hard to give her children a better life. She did not want them to grow up the way she had. She worked hard to support the household since my grandfather turned out to be an abusive drunk. For many years, she was making a decent living, but as my uncles and aunt were born, the money she was earning was not quite enough. She soon decided to come to the United States to seek a better opportunity for her kids. However, she had to leave them behind. She did not know what waited once she was here. She left her kids under my mother's care, who is the oldest of 5, and went on the journey to come to America. She hired a coyote who would guide her, along with a few others who were also looking to cross through the desert. She described the experience as terrifying. She said, "I had to suck it up and be the bravest I had ever been. I was so scared, but for my children's sake, I had to do it." It took her about a week to cross and to get to Los Angeles. When she was there, she stayed with a family member for the time being. Right away, she began to look for a job. However, she soon discovered that it was not going to be so easy. She was turned down from many places because she was undocumented. The only job she was able to obtain was as a housemaid. Many of her employer's friends would laugh at my Nana and make racist remarks towards her because she was undocumented and because of the way she looked. They thought of me to be nothing. I was simply the maid. She worked hard, and when she had saved enough money, she decided to return to Mexico for her children. She was going to bring them here and try to give them a better life as well. She once again hired a coyote to guide them through the desert. When they were almost ready to cross into the United States, they saw an immigration patrol and they all ran, scattering through the desert, trying to avoid getting picked up by them. She was separated from 3 of her 5 children. She explained how she had never been so scared in her life before. She feared for their lives in many ways. "I was so scared that I was never going to see my kids again," she recalls. Fortunately, the coyote had a partner who was among those who fled with my Nana. He helped them all cross the border, and once here, he helped my Nana contact his partner so he can return her kids. I was so grateful to them for returning my kids. He could have easily taken them. I will forever be thankful to them. When they made it back, my Nana stopped working at the woman's house and began to work for her husband selling ice cream in the streets. She walked every day trying to make ends meet. She got mugged several times a month and went home empty-handed. "All I could do is thank God I was alive and go back to work the next morning," she says. During the years she worked selling ice cream, she was constantly made fun of and called racist names as she passed by the houses trying to sell ice cream. I did not understand why there was so much hate towards us Mexicans. All we were trying to do is make some money to support our families. When the amnesty law passed in 1986, her boss, Don Ramon, and his wife took their workers to the immigration office and put in their applications for citizenship. Eventually, my Nana became a United States citizen, along with many of her fellow co-workers and about 2 million other undocumented individuals in America. She then left her job to pursue a better job. Regardless of her legal status, my Nana was still discriminated and called racist names at her employments. Many assumed that because of the way she looks, that she was, and still is, what they would call her, an illegal alien. She has been verbally harassed by authorities, employers, coworkers, and other individuals all her life, simply because of her physical appearance. When I asked her how she has learned to deal with this, she responded, "I have learned to ignore them and move on. I hold no hate toward those who have ever discriminated or insulted me because of the way I look. I have worked hard to give you guys everything I never had, and that's all that matters to me. I worked hard to give my daughters the dolls I always longed for. I learned to deal with this type of stuff so you guys don't have to. I did it all for my family's sake. I did it for them to have a better life.